Hannah and Lisa step forward to introduce themselves to Mari, while Mio explains that they will accompany her when Mio is unavailable. The situation still feels surreal to Mari. Having two attendants at her side is far beyond anything she's used to. Still, she grips the fabric of her skirt and bows gently to express her gratitude. The two attendants glance at each other, as if silently evaluating her behavior. Despite this, Mari softly asks where they are from. They explain that they both hail from the royal capital, having served within the palace and were recommended by the third prince himself. Something in their refined manner reminds Mari of her own parents. Fortunately, Mio calls her name, snapping her back to the present moment and gently asking if she's ready for breakfast. The moment Mari sits at the table, she's taken aback by the feast laid out before her. As Mio begins to explain each one, Mari quickly notices how many different kinds of animal meat are involved. They prepare in a wide variety just to see what she might prefer. Noticing her unease, Mio gently reassures her that she's free to leave anything she doesn't like and simply eat what appeals to her. With this, Mari offers to share her food with Mio, but she quickly declines, explaining that it's forbidden for attendants to eat with their master. Left with no choice, Mari begins taking a bite. To her surprise, everything tastes incredible, and before she realizes it, she's happily digging in. One by one, the plates begin to empty. Even as she starts to feel full, she continues eating. Mio gently urges her to stop if she's full, but Mari insists everything is too delicious to leave behind. Eventually, her stomach gives in, unable to take another bite. Mio quietly clears the table, and Mari can only feel sorry for the waste. Their next agenda is a tour around the palace, but before that, Mio brings Mari to a wardrobe for a change of clothes. As she opens the doors, Mari is stunned by the number of gowns and shoes inside. She jokes, saying she only has one body and could never wear them all. Mio explains that the wardrobe includes outfits for different seasons and occasions. Asked to choose one, Mari finds herself overwhelmed by the hundreds of options. In the end, Mio selects a soft yellow dress for her. As they walk, Mio shares a brief history of the estate. Granado's castle was originally built as a border to protect the kingdom. After the war, the family earned the title of duke and now governs their own lands. While they are connected to the royal family, they are not in the line of succession. The castle now serves mostly for special functions. Their next stop is the manor house where Mari will be residing. As they pass through a door, a beautifully landscaped yard greets her. Mio explains that the manor was built by Duchess Liu Liu herself. The first floor contains the kitchen, rooms for live-in staff, and private quarters reserved for the Duchess's family and important guests. While touring the house, they come across Thomas in the hallway. Mari quickly bows and apologizes for her father's behavior during their first encounter, but Thomas waves it off. They formally introduce themselves, and Mari immediately recognizes his name. It's the same as the legendary hero who discovered Luof Island. To her surprise, Thomas confirms it, saying he actually lives on the island. Before he gets too near, however, Mio swiftly flips him aside without hesitation. She firmly warns him not to touch the Duke's fiancée, leaving Thomas apologetic. As Mari looks around the manor, she wonders if Kiros does business with countries across the world. Mio explains that he mainly conducts trade within Ipsandros. She asks this because she assumes that the various folk crafts scattered around the house belong to Kiros, but Mio clarifies they are owned by the servants, many of whom come from different regions. According to Mio, Kiros hires people regardless of their background. This is why the staff is so loyal to him. Curious, Mari assumes Mio is from the royal capital as well, but Mio reveals she was actually abandoned as a child and found by the roadside. Mari expresses regret, but Mio gently brushes it off. She insists there's no need to feel sorry. Her life has been fulfilling. Mio explains that many of the people in the manor come from diverse backgrounds, unlike Hannah and Lisa, who are accustomed to noble duties and are better suited to serve as Mari's personal attendants. Still, Mari finds herself more interested in hearing stories from different lands. She keeps this thought to herself and instead thanks Mio sincerely. That evening, Lisa brings Mari her after-dinner tea. Out of habit, Mari asks for some milk to add, but both Lisa and Hannah gently insist that it would ruin the tea's intended flavor. Though their words are polite, Mari senses the disapproval behind them. Feeling slightly uneasy, she sets her preference aside and drinks the tea as it is. Later, as she drifts to sleep, her thoughts wander to Kairos. She wonders if he's still busy. True enough, in a different land, Kairos rides in his carriage, also thinking of Mari. Just as he loses himself in thought, his coachman reminds him of tomorrow's packed schedule. With a sigh, Kairos wonders when he'll finally be able to return home. A few days pass, and Mari enjoys another hearty breakfast. As she bites into the crisp, juicy vegetables, she asks Mio where they get such fresh produce. To her surprise, Mio reveals that the vegetables are grown right in their own courtyard garden. Intrigued, Mari expresses her interest in visiting the garden. However, since Mio will be busy preparing for the Duke's return, she suggests that Mari go with Hannah and Lisa instead. Though hesitant at first, Mari sees this as a chance to get to know the two better. Later that day, Mari makes her way to the vegetable garden, where she happens to meet the gardener, Johan. Curious, she asks about his planting methods, and Johan cheerfully answers each question. Seeing her enthusiasm, he asks if she gardens too. Mari confirms she used to grow and sell vegetables back home to help her family survive. She admits, however, that tomatoes were difficult for her to grow. Impressed by Johan's success with them, she asks how he do it. With this, Johan invites her to come with him. As she starts to follow Johan, Mari hears Hannah and Lisa whispering behind her, their eyes on her steps through the bare dirt. She's certain they're ridiculing her, mocking how she behaves. Maybe she deserves it, she thinks, but Mr. Johan certainly doesn't. She hesitates, glancing down at her shoes, elegant and new, a gift from the Count. The thought of soiling them holds her back. That night, Mari lies in bed, unable to sleep. Restless, she decides to take a quiet walk around the palace. As she passes by the dining hall, she notices the lights still on. Curious, she peeks through the door and is surprised to see Kiros inside. He's just arrived, having missed dinner, and is about to eat. Spotting her, he pulls out a chair and invites her to join him. They begin a gentle conversation about her stay so far, but it's soon interrupted by Mio. Behind her is a shy figure trying to stay hidden. Tapo, the palace chef. As he nervously presents the dish, a warm chicken soup, Mari's face brightens. Kara's requests that Tapo prepare a serving for her as well. With just one bite, Mari instantly praises the soup, adding that all the meals in the palace have been incredibly delicious. To her surprise, Tapo suddenly breaks down, insisting there's no need for flattery. After all, she never finishes her food, no matter how hard he tries. Karas asks Mio if it's true that Mari dislikes their meals, but Mio calmly replies that Mari tends to give vague answers. Flustered, Mari quickly clarifies that it's not because of the taste that she doesn't finish her food. She simply gets full and in fact feels guilty about the wasted ingredients as well. Upon hearing this, Tapo becomes even more emotional and deeply moved that she actually enjoys his cooking. Mio, unfazed, quietly announces she'll prepare tea for their after-dinner drink. Karas reassures Mari, saying Tapo is just a little too quick to cry. Wanting to make it up to her, he decides to whip up a special dessert just for them. After a few moments, Tapo returns with the apple pie he prepared. Mari thinks that perhaps the reason he gets upset when people don't finish their food is because he assumes everyone eats like him. So she and Karos invite him to join them. In the end, their plates are sparkling clean. Tapo ends up eating half the pie himself before happily excusing himself for the night. Left alone, Karos gently apologizes for placing Mari in a situation where she has to prioritize others, then asks if there's anything else she finds difficult. Though Mari denies it, Karos brings up Hannah and Lisa. Mari hesitates but insists they take good care of her. Karos, however, sees through her words. As the future Duchess, he believes she deserves attendants who are truly suited for her. He tells her she doesn't need to pretend to be happy with things that clearly displease her. Instead, he encourages her to be honest and voice any discomfort she may feel. However, the reason Mari never expresses preferences is because she's grown used to simply accepting what's given to her. For her, that's always been enough. She doesn't want to squander the Count's kindness by asking for more. But Karas gently promises to give her anything she wants. Those simple words break something inside her. Their quiet moment is soon interrupted by Mio, who arrives with their tea along with a very high pile of what looks like mashed potatoes. They assume it's for them, but Mio promptly takes it with her. It's her midnight snack. 2 small kettles sit stacked on a burner in front of them. Karas explains it's called a chaden leek, used for making traditional Ipsandros tea. The fire heats both kettles. Once boiling, hot water is poured over the leaves and the pot is placed back on top. After a while, the strong tea is poured into cups and diluted with more hot water from the bottom pot, adjusted to taste. While waiting for the tea to boil, Karos asks Mari to tell him something about herself, but she has nothing to share. Her mind feels empty, but she recalls playing word chains with her sister when they were young, and that's the only thing she can say. Karas suggests they change the rules slightly. Instead of random words, they'll only say things they like. Karas begins the game with the word Mari, but Mari insists they start with A, so he changes it to apple pie. With the word ending in E, Mari responds with exciting Ipsandrian stories, a phrase that catches Kira's attention. It's the same thing she said when they first met. They continue the game, taking turns naming things they like. Kiros keeps mentioning sweets, while Mari lists agricultural goods, practical and common in their economy. But when it's her turn with the letter K, she instinctively says Kiros, then quickly denies it, claiming she meant kiss. Karas seems to see through the slip, but he lets it go with a knowing smile and continues the game, occasionally teasing her by saying her name, making Mari blush. Eventually, Mio enters and notices them still playing. Only then do they realize the flame has long died out and the tea leaves are burnt already. They try to drink it anyway, but it's unbearable. Kairos orders Mio to mask the taste with milk and sugar, but she dryly replies that the two of them already have enough sweetness, leaving both Kairos and Mari flustered in silence. When Mari is about to drift off to sleep, her thoughts hold her back. Memories resurface, how she became a mere replacement for her sister's betrothal, how Hannah and Lisa treated her so harshly, and yet Kairos shows genuine interest in knowing her. Meanwhile, in his quarters, Kairos lies on his bed, hugging his pillow as his mind lingers on Mari. Just then, Mio enters quietly, catching him in the act. Startled, Kairos quickly composes himself, but Mio simply asks how he feels after days of not seeing Mari. Surprisingly, the Count simply answers that he loves Mari and finds her truly beautiful, which only frustrates Mio. She recalls how, 5 days ago, he ordered her to give Mari the utmost hospitality and everything she deserves. Kairos believes Mari was not treated kindly in her own home. He wants to surround her with every luxury possible. However, no matter how much he offers, Mari continues to avoid these comforts. This is when Mio shares her own experiences. Though abandoned as a child, she was fortunate to be cared for by Liu Liu. Over time, she rose to become the head chamberlain of Granova's castle, a position far above her station. For this, she expresses her deep gratitude to Kairos, acknowledging that his generosity shaped her life. Kairos feels confused about Mio's point, but she explains that she can relate to Mari. Coming from a life of oppression and suddenly stepping into nobility is overwhelming. Mio believes Mari is still uncertain about everything, just as she once was. Back then, she feared it would all disappear one day too. Kairos firmly assures her that nothing will vanish. Mari is perfect as she is, just as Mio fulfills her role as head chamberlain, and Liu Liu treats her like a daughter. His reassurance stuns Mio, prompting her to praise him for continuing to appreciate such things. However, Kairos' tone shifts as he mentions his upcoming business trip the next day. He asks Mio to use her discretion to ensure Mari's comfort. Even during Mio's serious moments, Kairos breaks the tension by gushing over Mari. He lists countless compliments while hugging his pillow and rolling back and forth on the bed. Mio bids Kairos goodbye, closing his bedroom door, but her mind is already fixed on her new priority. She finally has permission to act regarding personnel. The next day, Mari is served a meal, smaller than usual but perfectly portioned. To her relief, she finishes everything without difficulty, leaving her feeling satisfied. As she enjoys her tea, Mio joins her and Mari's heart lifts. She has long wished to share such a moment with her. It is then that Mari realizes that if Mio is here, Kairos must have already left. However, Mio calmly explains that Hannah and Lisa have been assigned to attend to the master, allowing Mio to focus on Mari. As her thoughts drift, Tapo enters, carrying a tray. He presents a delicate white pudding made from almond and fresh milk, offering Mio a plate as well. They take their first bites together, and both freeze in astonishment. Tapo cheerfully announces he will make more pudding for the entire kingdom, but Mari quickly stops him, suggesting Hannah and Lisa might not like milk. This catches Mio's attention, and she calmly asks why Mari thinks so. Mari innocently recounts a story of when she once requested milk for her tea, only to be denied by Hannah and Lisa. As Mio listens, her expression gradually hardens. Mio and Mari stroll down the hallway, chatting casually when Thomas approaches carrying a box addressed to Mari from the Shatterin household. Hearing this, Mio immediately scolds him, reminding him that all deliveries should be inspected first. Flustered, Thomas drops the box, spilling its contents across the floor. Mio questions why it wasn't brought to her beforehand, but Thomas explains that Hannah and Lisa had already inspected it. Among the scattered items, Mari notices a letter from her mother and belongings from her past life, things meant for her, assuming she would only ever serve in the Count's court. Realization dawns on Mio. Hannah and Lisa intended to humiliate Mari. Enraged, she storms toward the sound of mocking laughter echoing nearby. As Thomas fumbles to apologize, Mari kneels quietly, collecting torn pages of her cherished story, Red Raggedy Cat, hoping to piece it back together. Moments later, Mio storms back into the room, holding both Hannah and Lisa before tossing them onto the floor without hesitation. Infuriated, the two sneer at her, mocking her status as just a maid. They bragged arrogantly about serving the prince in the palace and being recommended by Prince Luifan himself. Despite Mio holding the title of Granado's head chamberlain, their insults persist, turning fiercer as they target Mari, calling her a barbarian, while ridiculing Mio as an abandoned child. Their words push Mio past her breaking point. With a sharp glare, Mio declares them as stupid. Hannah lunges at her in rage, but Mio effortlessly counters with a swift flip that slams her to the ground. Without missing a beat, she pivots toward Lisa, executing the same move. Thomas apologizes once more for the trouble, but Mari brushes it off. She requests thread and scissors, determined to mend it herself. Later that day, Mari visits Johan in the garden, now wearing a more suitable dress for gardening. Johan, unbothered, happily agrees to let her join him. Together, they begin working, and Mari kneels to plant seedlings with care. As she does so, memories surface. She used to do this for her family. Yet, unlike before, it doesn't feel like hard labor at all. Instead, it feels like doing something she truly loves, growing vegetables. As they continue working, Johan apologizes for avoiding her during their first meeting. He explains that he didn't want to cause her trouble, being just a servant, and more than that, a foreigner. But Mari dismisses his concerns, assuring him that she doesn't care about such things. To her, everyone in the castle feels like family. He then recalls how Count Kairos often speaks the same way. While Mari and Johan are tending the garden, Thomas arrives to inform Mari that Kairos is about to leave. Startled, she rushes over to bid him farewell, only to find him looking tired, clearly from spending the night thinking about her. As they exchange a few words, Mio speaks as well, advising Kairos to return Hannah and Lisa to the palace. This infuriates the two, who immediately protest, boasting about being personally recommended and even claiming Prince Luifan hinted they could become Kairos' concubines, and blames Mari for their failure. They hurl insult after insult, calling her nothing but a dead woman's replacement, and even branding Kairos a laughingstock for staying with her. The final straw comes when they call Mari ugly. At that moment, Kairos intervenes, his voice sharp with anger. He berates the two harshly, declaring they lack even a single quality that could make him love them, unlike Mari. His words humiliate them completely. Without hesitation, Kairos orders that Hannah and Lisa be removed at once. When Hannah and Lisa are finally taken away, Mari and Kairos are left in the garden, sharing a quiet moment together. Kairos bends down, picks a delicate flower, and gently tucks it behind Mari's ear. His gaze lingers as he softly compliments her beauty one by one. Her radiant red hair, her bright eyes, her knowledge, her curiosity, and even her warm smile. To him, everything about her is captivating. Caught up in the moment, Kairos slowly leans closer as if to kiss her. But before their lips meet, Mio interrupts, reminding him of the time. They almost forgot she was still there. From a distance, they notice Tunica and Johan watching, both amused by what they just witnessed. That same day, Kairos leaves in a carriage for the royal palace. He will be away for 10 days, and once he returns, the preparations for their betrothal will begin. As Mari watches him disappear from sight, an uneasy feeling lingers in her heart, even with Kairos' earlier reassurance. That night, Mari receives a letter, an invitation from Prince Luifan himself. However, as she reads it, the tone feels less like an invitation and more like a warning. The letter states that she is invited to a special event at the royal palace and emphasizes how all preparations have already been made in anticipation of her presence. If she refuses, the prince warns that everything will be wasted and even hints that people may hold a grudge lasting generations. The sender is none other than Prince Luifan, the third prince of the kingdom and captain of the Royal Knights. Known for his open-hearted personality, the suddenness of this letter is unsettling. The fact that it arrives on the eve of the event makes it clear her attendance is a must. Feeling pressured, Mari reluctantly decides to attend. By morning, a royal chariot from the prince arrives at the Granovas' castle to escort her to the palace. Mari steps inside and is immediately struck by the carriage's lavish interior. With uncertainty, the carriage sets off toward the royal palace. The carriage travels until Mari finally reaches her destination. Upon arrival, Mio immediately begins explaining everything. The kingdom of Dilts is known as the stronghold of the royal knights. She wonders why she was invited, and Mio speculates it could be because Prince Luifan himself recommended Hannah and Lisa. As they walk, Mio describes the prince's eccentric nature. Despite his odd sense of humor, Mio assures her he is not a bad person. They tour the lively streets where laughter and music fill the air. It has been 50 years since the war, and the kingdom thrives in peace, bustling with joy and entertainment. While sharing this story, Mio hands Mari a local street food, which she accepts willingly. Scanning the lively festival, Mio notices that Prince Luifan is nowhere in sight, leaving Mari to wonder if she should simply enjoy the festivities and slip away. Mio, however, refuses to believe it's that simple. She warns that Luifan is notoriously unpredictable, though Mari suspects Mio is just being too harsh about the prince. Just then, Mio spots someone in the distance. It's Prince Luifan. Mari panics instantly as she searches the crowd for a glimpse of him. Mio decides to approach him quickly, but before moving, she turns to Mari with a firm warning. Luifan might be just doing his tricks to lure them. She orders Mari to stay in her place and not wander under any circumstances. Everything Mio said leaves Mari terrified, so she vows not to move an inch. But then, a vendor calls out to her, and her eyes catch a flyer that reads, "Apple Peeling Contest." Instantly intrigued, she walks over and tells the vendor she wants to participate. The vendor, surprised, remarks that nobles usually never even touch a knife. His comment echoes Hannah and Lisa's cruel words in her mind, so she fears this will only make Kira's a laughingstock, just like they claimed. However, the vendor doesn't budge and proudly presents her an apple, boasting it carries the knight's stamp of approval. With this, Mari decides to take a challenge. But just as the timer is about to start, someone snatches the apple from her hands. It's Prince Luifan. With a teasing grin, he toys with her apple, refusing to return it. Mari demands it back, but Luifan only takes a bold bite, smirking as her face flushes with anger and frustration. The vendor jokingly scolds the man, but when he addresses him as Highness, Mari freezes. Only then does she realize it's Prince Luifan. At that moment, Mio arrives, running, confirming what she suspected all along. Luifan was simply pulling one of his tricks. With his trick exposed, Luifan finally offers a proper introduction, presenting himself not only as a prince, but more importantly, as Kira's friend. In that instant, Mari understands the kind of person he truly is. After introducing himself, Luifan strolls with Mio and Mari around the kingdom, enduring Mio's scolding for arriving late. He apologizes repeatedly before suggesting they visit the noble's salon for a lavish buffet. Mari, however, declines. The memory of Hannah and Lisa's behavior leaves her uneasy about noble formalities. Luifan apologizes again, admitting his mistake and recommending them without understanding their character. Mari explains that aristocratic settings make her anxious, prompting Luifan to change plans and invite her to a swordsmanship exhibition instead. Now, even that unsettles her, so Mio assures her she can decline since competitions heighten her discomfort. Frustrated, Luifan bursts out in exasperation. Feeling pressured, Mari reluctantly agrees to accompany him. He eagerly shares how Kairos once praised his swordsmanship, which makes Mari relax a little while Luifan beams with pride. When they arrive, the semifinals of the swordsmanship tournament are about to begin, and the arena roars with excitement. While waiting, Luifan casually recalls dozing off during last year's concert, forcing Kairos to nudge his face repeatedly to wake him. Mari finds it oddly fascinating how fondly Luifan speaks of Kairos. Soon, Mio excuses herself to get food for all of them, though she and Mari just ate. As the semifinals begin, the arena erupts in cheers. A black-armored knight steps onto the stage to face an opponent clad in silver, yet Mari's attention drifts elsewhere. Luifan notices her disinterest and wonders aloud if she acts this way toward Kairos as well. Mari hesitates, unable to respond. So Luifan smiles faintly and admits she is unlike anyone he has met before. He then shares a memory of meeting Kairos from the first time back in school, a meeting that ended in a fistfight. Despite Kairos being a duke's son, Luifan outranked him, so he called him a fool for creating such rankings. With this, Luifan punched him in the face, but Kairos also retaliated and chaos soon followed. Without realizing it, the sword fight concludes swiftly, and the black-armored knight claims victory with ease. His movements suggest he was even holding back, leading Luifan to assume he must be a considerate fighter. What surprises him most, however, is Mari's reaction. While other women squeal in excitement, Mari remains unmoved. Physical power doesn't impress her, instead it unsettles her. This stark contrast frustrates Luifan, who begins questioning why Kairos would choose someone so seemingly negative as his fiancé. Mari is about to respond when the next announcement interrupts her thoughts. Another match begins featuring the same Black Knight. In a matter of strides, he strikes down his opponent, earning an instant victory that sends the crowd into cheers. What truly captures Mari's attention is not the Black Knight's victory, but his kindness. Instead of claiming his trophy, he first tends to his fallen opponent. Just then, Mio returns, holding a bag of food, and casually sits beside Mari. With certainty, she reveals that the Black Knight is none other than Kairos. Luifan questions her judgment, but Mio recognizes his footwork and swordsmanship. To confirm, Mio suddenly leaps up and screams Kairos' name like an overexcited fan before quickly ducking out of sight. Her outburst instantly grabs the crowd's attention, and Kairos as well. With no other option, the Black Knight removes his helmet, confirming Mio's words. The audience erupts in cheers as Kairos greets them with a bow. Mio explains that every male noble in the kingdom of Dilts is made to hold a sword at least once, and Kairos has trained ever since he was a kid for self-defense. Mari knew right away that it was Luifan who planned it all along. After the match, Mari and Mio return to the capital, only to encounter a long line of girls hoping Kairos will choose a new fiancé after his former one had died. Mari feels a pang of pity for herself, realizing she is nothing more than a replacement. What infuriates her further is hearing the girls ridicule Kairos, mocking him as a barbarian despite his honor. Unable to bear their insults, Mari strides forward, determined to find him. The girls immediately block her path, demanding to know who she is. Mari lies, claiming she is the Count's associate. At that moment, Mio steps in to cover for her, creating a distraction that allows Mari to slip through and continue forward. Contrary to the other girls' speculations, Mari knows Kairos is nothing like they claim. She does not understand how they can speak about him that way, and the thought troubles her deeply. Meanwhile, within the castle, Karas was unaware that Luifan arranged for him to participate in the swordsmanship competition. Their talk halts abruptly when Mari bursts into the room, accidentally making a noise. With a bright smile, she congratulates Karas warmly, leaving him stunned. For a moment, he wonders if he's hallucinating, returning a smile in disbelief. His composure falters further when Luifan reveals he invited Mari intentionally, hoping she would witness Karas' strength. Mari, however, doesn't seem entirely pleased by this. Karas quickly steps in, explaining that she dislikes violence and aristocracies. To him, none of that matters, yet Luifan insists she doesn't look happy at all. Luifan bluntly raises the topic of Mari being nothing more than a replacement for her sister and a pawn in a political marriage with Karas. Mari cannot deny it. Deep down, she knows her engagement began as a mere formality. Her silence convinces Luifan that she has no real feelings for Karas, prompting him to urge her to leave. He cannot bear to see his closest friend in love with someone who appears indifferent. His words grow harsher, even mocking Mari's discomfort with noble customs. Kira's restraint snaps, and he seizes Luifan by the collar. Yet Luifan pushes further with his insults, undeterred. Their heated argument escalates until Luifan draws his sword. Kira's follows, and the clash begins. Mari can only stand frozen in place as the two men battle fiercely before finally breaking apart. Instead, Luifan formally challenges Karas to a duel in the grand arena, determined to crush his pride. Karas, however, remains calm as he accepts the challenge. When Luifan finally leaves, Mari returns to Karas, pleading not to escalate things further. Through trembling words, she admits that everything Luifan said about her was true, but what she cannot bear is seeing Karas ridiculed because of her. And when he looks at her, tears are streaming down her cheeks. Despite Luifan's harshness, Karas understands his friend's motives. He was only trying to protect him, fearing Karas was trapped in unrequited love. Still, that does not justify humiliating Mari, and Karas is determined to teach him a lesson. Mari thanks Karas for defending her, but Luifan's insult, calling him a coward, still lingers, making her relent and let him fight. He lifts Mari's hand and presses a soft kiss to it, leaving them both silently flushed at the moment. Later that day, Karas faces Luifan in the swordsmanship match, and the crowd grows wild while both Mari and Mio watch from their same spot as before. Karas urges Luifan to put his helmet on, afraid of injuring his friend, but Luifan refuses and tells Karas to do it instead. Refusing to comply, both royals throw their helmets on the ground as they begin their match. A few moments pass and the two are still fighting. By the looks of it, both have the same level of skill. Then, Luifan knocks Karas' sword away. But Karas carries on, fighting Luifan with no weapon in hand. Soon, he manages to make Luifan lose his grip on his sword as well, and the fight escalates when Luifan throws a straight punch at Karas' face. The match turns into a fistfight, something completely unalloyed by the rules, but neither backs down. They keep going until Karas finally delivers a powerful punch that sends Luifan crashing to the ground, ending the fight. With that, Karas is announced as the winner, and Mari immediately rises from her seat, cheering for him with a bright smile. The crowd soon follows, their cheers filling the arena. Amid the roaring applause, Karas calls out to Mari, asking her to come down and join him. With that, Mari approaches the stage, but just as she is about to ask, Karas carries her in bridal hold. Facing the crowd, he boldly announces their betrothal. Instantly, the crowd erupts and whispers, shocked that Mari, daughter of Baron Shadowrun, an unfamiliar name, is the future countess. Karas gently urges Mari to look at the crowd, but shyness holds her back. Deep down, she feels unworthy of standing beside him. Yet Karas calms her doubts, pulling her closer and reassuring her gently. The cheers grow louder as Mari finally faces them. And at that moment, Karas and Mari stand proud as the people chant for the future Granado. That afternoon, Mari returns to the vendor hosting the apple peeling contest. The vendor immediately recognizes her and apologizes for being unable to stop the prince earlier, but Mari pays no mind, she simply wants to join again. The vendor hands her an apple, but before she can begin, someone snatches it away. This time, it's Karas, eager to compete alongside her. Karas starts peeling the apple with remarkable skill. Mari notices and learns he mastered this during his camp out for business trips. Curious, she brings up Luifan, wondering how he's doing. Before Karas can respond, a familiar voice answers from behind. Karas blames him for the earlier chaos and quickly thrusts an apple into his hand, challenging him to join before turning to Mari to ask for tips. Sure enough, Mari knows exactly how to handle the knife, having plenty of experience peeling fruits and vegetables back home. Karas continues to compliment her as he works on his apple, which prompts Luifan to remind him that Mari doesn't even like him. No matter how many sharp remarks Luifan throws, Karas remains completely unfazed, responding with optimism to every word. He even goes as far as saying how wonderful life will be once they are married and spend their days together. Finally realizing how devoted his friend is, Louis decides to let it go and turns to leave. But before he can, Mari calls out to him. She expresses interest in learning more about Kairos and hopes Louis can share more stories about him another time. Mari understands that the reason Louis brought her here was to show her Kairos' admirable qualities. With this, Louis offers an apology and bites into the apple. Turns out the apple is a display fruit, a trick Kairos pulled, and soon the two are teasing each other relentlessly until Louis storms off in frustration, muttering under his breath. When it's time to leave, Mio informs Mari that she must stay behind with her master, so Mari will return under the coachman's escort. Before parting ways, Mari and Kairos exchange gentle words until their conversations shift to sweet compliments about each other. In a sudden rush of courage, Mari steps closer and presses a soft kiss on Kairos' cheek. Flustered, she quickly retreats, darting into the carriage and urging the coachman to go, leaving Kairos momentarily frozen before chasing a few steps after her, stunned by her sudden gesture. As the carriage rolls on, Mari stares into the window. In just a month or two, she will marry Kairos, the man once promised to her sister. Though it's a political marriage, she silently wishes for a life built on love. Meanwhile, Mio delivers a message to Kairos confirming it originates from House Shadowrun. As Kairos scans the contents, his expression darkens. The letter's content leaves him questioning whether the Shadowruns are really Mari's parents. The letter that arrives from Baron Shadowrun and his wife is full of harsh and abusive words. They only care about Mari coming back so they can enslave her again. This leaves Kairos wondering how they can abuse Mari like that. While he is away, he wants Mio to investigate something for him. It has been a month since the festival. On this day, Mari stands looking outside the window, admiring the wonderful weather and looking forward to the day ahead. Suddenly, a knock on the door catches her attention. It is Wolfgang, her butler. Just as she greets him, a young girl rushes forward to hug her. Wolfgang introduces the girl as Cecily, his granddaughter, who is just an apprentice. Cecily proudly shows off the buns in her hair, and Mari happily compliments them. While the two exchange pleasant words, Cecily casually mentions that Mia will still be away for the day, so she must attend to Mari in the meantime. Their conversation is interrupted when Wolfgang asks about Mari's dress, prompting her to choose a blue off-shoulder gown that fits her perfectly. Wolfgang and Cecily both compliment her, and Wolfgang teases that Kairos will surely embrace her upon seeing her. His comment leaves Mari flustered, as lately Kairos seems to affect her differently. Eager to greet Kairos upon his arrival, Mari and Cecily hurry toward the count's location. Along the way, Tapa notices them and remarks that lunch isn't ready yet, to which Mari casually replies that the count will arrive. After exchanging farewells, Mari and Cecily continue on. Johan approaches carrying a bouquet, suggesting Mari take them with her. So she takes them with her as they go on their way. Upon the count's arrival, the castle attendants line up to greet him. What catches his attention most is Mari, standing above the stairs in a pretty gown, holding a bouquet. She descends to greet him and offers the flowers Johan gave her. Kairos, however, does not take them, saying they are an accessory for her. But in that case, she would be a gift to him as well, a flower personified. Kairos teases that he almost embraced her, which makes Mari shy. Then, unexpectedly, Kairos offers his hand. Mari thinks he intends to take the roses, but instead he reaches for her hand and holds her close. The sudden act startles Mari, but Kairos calmly takes a flower from the bouquet and places it in her hair, all while complimenting her beauty. Still, Mari believes he is only teasing her. Later that night, Mari lies awake in her room, exhausted. She had hoped they could finally have dinner together, but Kairos must leave again. The betrothal ceremony is approaching and nerves weigh heavily on her. Beyond what she learned from her father and at school, she feels like she doesn't know anything else. Suddenly, an idea comes to her. She rises and retrieves the Red Riding Cat book from her table drawer. But when she opens it, she realizes the pages are torn and scattered. Wanting to fix the torn book, Mari seeks Wolfgang's help, and together, they stroll through the castle hallways. As they pass, they notice a light shining from a room. Mari tries to peek inside, and the door opens. It's Liu Liu. Mari greets her warmly, and although Liu Liu is concerned about why Mari is wandering so late, Mari shares her worries. Liu Liu invites her into the library, a large room filled with countless books that amaze Mari. Seeing letters spread out on the table, Mari asks if Liu Liu doesn't have someone to write for her. Liu Liu explains that since Kairos is very busy, she helps him write them. The letters are invitations for their betrothal ceremony, so they must be written by the couple or someone close. With this, Mari offers to help with the writing, and Liu Liu gladly accepts. While writing letters for Ipsandros, Mari mentions she can also write them. This immediately interests Liu Liu. Mari is skilled in the Ipsian language for reading and writing, though she struggles with verbal conversations. Wolfgang shares Mari's fondness for Exandrian stories like the Red Raggedy Cat book she came to mend. Liu happily takes the book, feeling a wave of nostalgia. Mari feels the same, remembering how her sister Anastasia used to read it to her. Although Mari's father often calls her an eccentric layabout for studying foreign languages, Liu thinks it's quite clever. Mastering other languages would be a great advantage when dealing with merchants and nobility alike. Liu explains that Iptian isn't as widely useful as Flarian and Shanian, but Mari speaks those languages too. Even though she's just a baron's daughter, many tenant farmers on their land are immigrants. So Mari learned these languages for managerial purposes. Liu finds it strange that Mari handles all this, saying it should be her father's job. Mari replies she's only assisting. She's always loved writing letters, and even if she writes on her father's behalf, it lets her connect with others freely. While they write, Liu notices Mari's beautiful handwriting and asks her to sign her name. Liu finds this only right as she's writing with her own words and not on behalf of anyone else. Hearing this, Mari can hardly believe it. Tears begin to fall down her cheeks. Liu reveals she never expected much from Mari. She had heard Mari was a noblewoman from the countryside, yet she was the person Karmax chose to propose to. Like herself, Liu once thought she needed to help Mari where she might be lacking, but now she takes that back. She is simply happy for Mari as Kara's betrothed. Over time, Liu has come to care for her and wishes only the best for her future. Mari cannot hold back her tears. In that moment, Mari isn't sad but feels overwhelmed by emotion. Karmax arrives at the palace and is immediately greeted by Mio, who has just finished the investigation he ordered. In a nearby room, documents lie scattered, confirming that Mari is truly the Baron's daughter. Karmax still harbors doubts, but Mio is certain. The records detail the noble family's history, showing no evidence of adoption or remarriage. It is said they even shed tears of joy upon Mari's birth. There can be no hospital mix-up either, as the hospice had only one bed at the time. Karmax finds it hard to believe that Mari's biological parents would treat her so cruelly, but Mio's own story proves that birth parents do not always show unconditional love for their children. With this in mind, Mio hands him another letter received that morning, which Karmax opens immediately. The letter states that Mari's father is on his deathbed and demands her immediate return. Both of them know that if Mari learns this, she will come back home, but Karmax wants to protect her without trapping her inside the castle forever. As he makes his way there, he hears Liu speaking with Mari. Peeking through the doorway, he sees Liu teaching Mari how to curtsy. Though Liu is simply instructing, Karmax misinterprets her actions as bullying and quickly barges in to intervene. However, when Mari turns to welcome Karmax home, he feels flattered and momentarily loses his words. Liu seizes the moment to ask Karmax to be Mari's practice partner for the curtsy. Karmax thinks she doesn't have to learn such formalities, but Liu insists that Mari needs to learn them somehow. She expresses confidence in Mari's abilities and praises her, while Karmax simply wishes to see Mari surrounded by beauty and happiness. Cecily calls out to Karmax, showing him the curtsy Mari has practiced. Watching Mari perform it, Karmax is stunned by her grace and poise. Liu then brings up Mari's role in writing the betrothal letters. Although Karmax prefers she not be involved, Liu gently scolds him, reminding him to let Mari grow independently and not treat her like a fragile bird. Their conversation is interrupted by Mari's question about her curtsy. Karmax compliments her warmly and she accepts happily. Her smile reminds Karmax of the first time he saw her, bright and genuine. With that, Liu suggests they take a break and share tea, so they each take a step outside. Before Mari can leave with the others, Karmax stops her and hands her the letter from home. He thinks that if she ever feels the need to return, he will go with her. But Mari interrupts him mid-sentence, saying she will not be going home anytime soon. She knows the letter is a lie, the handwriting matches her father's, but if he truly were on his deathbed, he wouldn't be able to write it. She suspects there were other demanding letters before this one, which Karmax confirms. He apologizes for acting without her permission. Mari gently shrugs it off. She understands her family might be struggling to hire a maid, which is probably why they want her back. She knows they don't want to see her, they hate her. Now she realizes their abuse was never discipline, a pure hatred. Karmax once thought Mari accepted the abuse as natural because of her looks. Now he sees how strong she has become. Mari thanks him, saying it is his and the castle people's care that helped her recognize her worth. Karmax embraces her tightly, creating an awkward but tender moment between them. While having tea, Tunica casually compliments Mari's outfit, which she accepts gratefully. Encouraged, Karmax decides to compliment her as well. However, when he does, Mari becomes flustered and struggles to respond. She explains it's because she isn't used to receiving compliments from men, so Karmax quickly apologizes. Just then, Tapo approaches with a blueberry tart in hand and also compliments Mari. This time, she handles it gracefully. Karmax feels unsettled. Topo is a man too. Kairos wonders if Mari's discomfort stems from his frequent absences. With that, he promises to stay by her side from now on. Yet Mari isn't paying attention. She is busy greeting Mio, who has just arrived. Mio comes to speak with Kairos and requests a leave of absence. She explains she must visit a remote place, even though she has just returned. She describes her plans with such charm and enthusiasm that Mari suspects she might be meeting a lover. And Mio advises her to take some private time with Kairos now that their betrothal ceremony is approaching. That night, before Mio heads out, Kairos hands her a pile of letters to deliver to Baron Shatterin if she ever meets him on her journey. The letters contain warnings forbidding any bad talk about Mari and list all of her good qualities. He also gives Mio a purse full of gold coins and instructs her to use the royal carriage. Although Mio is strong, Kairos insists on sending one of his attendants along just in case anything happens. The next day, Mio departs for her destination with Thomas accompanying her. She wears unusually casual clothes, which surprises Thomas. He thinks it's a bad idea for him to tag along, assuming she's meeting a lover. Mio explains she is heading to the Shatterin lands where a tragic accident occurred 2 months ago. The package from Mari's parents had carried something else. It included a letter from her younger brother, Cedric, announcing Anastasia's return. Thomas is shocked. He thought she had died. Contrary to the story that her carriage fell off a cliff, investigations revealed they were attacked by bandits, and while fleeing toward the river, the carriage was overturned by muddy waters. Even so, Mio insists there's no way Anastasia survived. The river is cold and swift, and rescue could not reach them in time. Yet, in the Shatterin home, Elvira is happily combing a head of beautiful golden hair, belonging to whom she calls Anastasia. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss new episodes every week.